really impromptu. Hi everyone, this is Lee Beattie, and I wanted to do a, really a hangout about me, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I do for the local businesses here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and soon actually in the Richmond, Virginia area. I'm going to be doing some things out there to help out some local businesses succeed. So if you're out there in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, and surrounding areas all the way over to really anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, where I graduated high school, actually Warrensville Heights is where I actually graduated from, and or, Virginia, where I'm going to be, starting up a few things out there in the next few weeks. I wanted to actually just really want you guys to see my face, introduce you, say hi, and really tell you a little bit more about me and why should you trust me and why should you listen to what I'm saying, and really kind of go from there. So I'm actually going to do a screen share, and I'll come back in and say hi a little bit later on. So I'm going to do the screen share. I've got an actual, so you guys can actually see. So who am I? Basically, folks, when I first started back out online back in 2007, I was a newbie. I was a complete newbie. I was a technophobe. I was somebody that you wouldn't believe me if I told you, that even though I worked in a very, very technical field, I wanted more for myself. So, a long story short, I invested a whole bunch into learning how to do internet marketing and things like that, and really, I'm not gonna say I was taken. I was given everything that I was basically told, but these guys didn't offer any kind of guarantee, and they caught me when I was, really in a difficult position in my life, but I was also in a good position. And let me explain what that means. I was traveling. I was on a U.S. install team out there in Lehi, Utah. I was actually starting up that facility that a lot of people probably have driven by and don't know what that is. It's called IMFT. It's Intel Micron Flash Technologies. And after a long day of working out, we were just starting up that facility, and we we're working a lot of long days. We're ramping a lot of tools up and things like that. And I was just I just figured I wanted more for myself, so I opted into a squeeze page, and basically. I had somebody follow up with me pretty much fairly quickly after that. So so really what happened there? I ended up spending like $15,000 to get what I was promised a hold your hand session, someone who's going to walk you through every single process, and really what it all eventually amounted to was they sold me on affiliate products, folks, and an open hope that I was going to actually make money, and it was complete crap. It was rubbish, and that's exactly how I started out online. I didn't buy some small course. I didn't learn my way into this. I jumped full both head and feet into this while I was working 60 almost 70 hours a week on the road, and that really, what have I evolved to since then, since 2007? Obviously, I'm an entrepreneur. I've started up a couple different brands you might know me for. I'm an avid frisbee golfer. I love to frisbee golf, and for those of you, I'm not some pro or anything like that, but I can tell you one thing. I've played enough frisbee golf with enough of these pros that, in various, cities and states around the United States that I can give them a run for their money. I can tell you that way. And I'm just an overall cool guy, so why should you trust me? So what I did was I just typed my name in to Google. I want to show you who my face is, but I want to show you some other things. What I stand for. CherBeat, all right? So that's what you're going to know me for right here, folks. This is all these things that you're going to actually know me for. This is a brand that I've primarily attached myself to. And you may know me for ABQHotSpots. That's me right there, and not starving. Let's see. And I'm just going to point out a few that you may know me for. I did it all as one word. This was a recipe-based brand that I helped establish. You're not seeing the logo and all that stuff in there, which is okay, all right? But let me go to what really matters, which is the web results. And okay, so out of that, I'm obviously taking up all the different positions for that. Let me share kind of what I started out. So when I first started CherBeat and doing the whole CherBeat thing, CherBeat was basically dominated by Sonny and Cher. Okay, that's pretty much what it boils down to. And now, you're seeing me everywhere in there. And obviously, those two are icons. And really, what is it that I'm going to actually tell you, and why should you listen to me? Well, as you're seeing right now, I'm actually doing a Hangout. I'm actually doing an over-the-shoulder video, and I'm actually showing you kind of what is relevant on my screen right now. So let me just tell you, what I've done is recently, as of March, okay, this is, we're into June right now, so the last 2 months, basically, let me tell you a story. Let me kind of add on to the beginning of my marketing career and what happened and why I have adjusted and why this is relevant that you're seeing right now. So I live in Bedford, Texas, okay, which is a suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth area, and basically I've used, a media, a social media-based property to leverage my name, my brand, my skill, and I've topped a lot of results. And during this Hangout, I'm actually going to show you a bunch that I've actually topped, and I'm really to kind of warm you guys up to a couple things I've actually put out here, and also to let you guys know about a course that I'll be coming out with that is nothing for sale today. It's just kind of telling you a little bit about me. But what happened along my marketing journey, because I started and I got swindled, if you will, I started to make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. I started up a website after that with no help. Folks, they basically sent me to a forum, and I spent a lot of money. Okay, and like I told you, when I was out there in Utah, I signed up for it, and when I tried to, actually when I actually made the attempt to call these guys back, I got into a shouting match with this guy, and basically, went through the whole rationale of why I'm giving up on myself. So basically, this guy was a master at convincing people like myself who are brand new to invest, and basically just taking your money is what he did. So what I did was, with no guidance, no nothing, I started to market online. Using the WordPress platform, and I started up a website, and I started to learn all the intricacies about it. But what I first did is I flew out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. A good friend of mine, Steve Madigan, he runs 505 Internet Marketing, so you can see who it is that who I'm talking about. And I didn't get his permission, but I'm sure he's not going to care. But this is my buddy right here. That he and I worked at Intel together, and this is his site. But I flew out to Albuquerque to get some advice from him, because he started, 3 to 4 or 5 months before I did, and he had a better grasp on it because he had put more sites up. So I went out there, picked his brain, and kind of went through the works there. Well, I started this up, and folks, I kid you not, for 3 days straight, I was simply, my head was spinning. I learned more in 3 days sitting with my buddy than I did spending $15,000 with that company. They sold me on complete crap. And so then that's how I pretty much started my marketing journey. And then I stayed with that site, thinking that one site, you build this site up, you sell it for millions and millions of dollars, all that stuff, these internet pipe dreams that crumble down on everyone that ever thinks that. That happened to me. So fast forward, 5 years later after that, I really caught my groove, if you will, and then I ended up building a massive blog network. I was doing my own massive private blog network for myself, so I can do backlinks. I can do anytime I wanted to. I could really tap into some backlinking power and start ranking things, and I started doing what you call SEO, and this is why I'm actually showing you this right now. Well, what happened as a result, folks, I got hacked. I lost 300 websites in 1 day. 1 day, okay? And because I didn't know all the ins and outs and all this, and I didn't know all the appropriate things to do. I wasn't even, folks, oddly enough as it sounds, I was 5 years into internet marketing. I was not collecting a name or an email address at all. And I know that probably sounds pretty stupid to some of you guys, but for me, I didn't know. You know what I mean? I started off on the wrong foot, and I was doing a lot of the things that I was doing wrong, if you will. And what happened as a result was that I began to, I lost confidence. Okay, so who wouldn't? I mean, I built this huge, massive blog network. I got some help, and obviously I hired a couple virtual virtual assistants. I was, since, you know, after that point, I was doing a lot of different things. Then I basically, what I decided to do is I want to reestablish that network. So I built 200 more sites on top of that. Basically, you know, was taking some of the data that that was successful for me and eliminate some of the duds, if you will. And I kid you not, folks, 6 months later, I got rehacked again. And you want to talk about losing confidence, folks, I lost complete confidence. So I never grabbed a mentor. So here's some mistakes that you want to learn from this, and then I'm going to kind of carry on and start showing you a little bit more with regard to what I can do for your business. So in total, in roughly about a 10 to 12 month period, I lost over 500 websites, 500 of them. Okay, and I had these mirrored, I had them backed up, but the thing is, I got hacked so deep into my network that even the hosting company didn't even know where to start with regard to how much leverage these folks had in my business or whatever, or into these sites, and it crushed me. It absolutely crushed me. So what I did was I started to revamp my thinking, revamp my strategies, revamp a lot of things I was doing, and really I kind of went away more so from the traditional web development stuff, and I actually went more into social media, mobile apps. I started to do book publishing, and I'm gonna start showing you some of those. So now, as you can see, boohoo me, lost a whole bunch of sites, lost confidence, and to make matters worse, when I got hacked again, I was consulting to a business out there in Austin where I was doing safety management and helping the Samsung Austin folks. So in the industry I was in, it's in semiconductor. So a lot of the semiconductor, and I'll just type that in here so you can actually see what semi companies. So you can actually see what brands I'm actually talking about. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Micron, Intel, Samsung, Apple, Freescale, Toshiba. I mean, all these. I mean, folks, and the odd part is I've supported several of these that are on this list. And the weird part about it, and this is actually what working inside a facility is like. It's a clean room facility where you wear a clean room suit, you're working in tools. This is nanotechnology. This is what produces all of these brands for Texas Instruments, ST, and oddly enough, folks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of these brands I've supported worldwide. 6 of those. All right. So moral of the story here is I was working in this industry, I was burned out, and I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to make some money, I wanted to do some things, and basically I was, while I was working supporting Samsung over there in Samsung Austin, I got hacked again. Then I just asked the guys I was working with, hey, can I take a little bit of time off? I mean, it was devastating to me, folks. I lost not only a ton of money, had people working for me. I was losing money hand over fist. I was basically hemorrhaging money is at this point because I didn't set up a newsletter. I didn't have an autoresponder. All that time online, folks, and I did not have a freaking autoresponder set up. Talk about stupid. I know I felt so dumb after I started learning all these things. All right, the second thing was, even though I was backing these up, some of these were duds, and I should have just sold these, but I didn't. The third thing is, I was one of these people that I was buying other people's courses, implementing their strategies, and all these different things. And then I got to a point where I just got so worked up and into a circle that when I got hacked, I pretty much had a mental meltdown. If that's what it all is amounting to right now. And then basically I had to I lost my job there because after taking that time off, I took off, I guess you'd say, a little bit too much time, and they could no longer use me, which is my fault. And for me, I lost my income. I lost everything. I pretty much hit rock bottom. I bottomed out, folks. And then that's when I was really forced to start learning some new techniques, learn some things that would better myself, and I'm going to kind of show you some of those things. So what I did was I wrote a book. Is he black or white? And as you can see right here, out of 769 million results, and I'm not signed in, so it's not skewing my data, I'm #1 for that. So basically, and I have 6 of these books, just like this. And basically what I'm pointing out right now is that, you know, I started to conquer some of these fears and started conquering some of these challenges that I was having along the way, and which helped me to SEO service DFWTX. Watch this. All right, so the reason why I actually put this out here and the reason why I did it like this is because that's me right there, and this is a Facebook fan page. It kind of evolved with some of the times, and I'm gonna show you a lot of examples of things I'm doing, but then I'm also gonna point you in a direction of a product that is based around kind of what I'm doing here. Not exactly, but you know, I'm gonna be, as I said, I'm gonna be building out a product around this type of marketing. Anyway, folks, I lost confidence. I mean, and for many of you who are marketing online and you think like, man, you were online for 5 years, you didn't collect a name or an email address, you didn't, you know, folks, I was doing all the hard work. I was creating what I would consider a job for myself. And I can't even begin to tell you, folks, that basically I was working a ton of hours. I was working not only at Samsung over there at the time, but then I was also doubling almost time in, you know, if I was putting in 40, 45 hours a week, you know, as a safety coordinator, you know, over there, I was easily putting in 60, 70, almost 80 hours a week outside of work. Okay, so why is that important for me to tell you that, and why should not getting to this whole point of why should you start to trust me? Well, folks, I had that aha moment. I had that aha moment where it was, you know, basically like, what in the world am I doing? You know, what am I doing here? Am I cutting my nose off to spite my face? You know, am I, you know, what is it that I'm doing here, and why am I doing it wrong? Okay, why am I getting hacked? Why am I having all these issues? Why are all these things happening? And you know, so it's like, who is Lee Beattie? What am I defining as? What is my why? Okay, and folks, my whole thing, you know, up to this point was I was just wanting to make money online, and I was having some success. Don't get me wrong, I was having some success, and I was negotiating with people, looking to do some work for some people, and folks, I kid you not, as soon as I got hacked, I mean, people, they split for me like I had the plague. I mean, I kid you not, they thought that it was going to happen to their business, and you know, and I looked in the C panels and all that, and I was driving tons and tons and tons and tons of traffic to these websites, folks. And you know, it's kind of a shame, but at the same time, it is what it is. So as I start to retool what it is that I do, what is Lee Beattie, what is my why, I had to ask myself that, what am I doing this for? You know, and the biggest reason why I wanted to do this actual hangout is because I wanted you all to know that I'm doing this because I want to make sure that I do my part to help people, you know, to help as many people as possible, not have to pay these outrageous costs, not have to pay these exorbitant fees